Alright, so here we have Fair Cotton Granny. It's about $45 and it's very soft. It's got some nice colors in it. They're saying to use a USD or 3. So here's my D. And I guess my first question is where to start? Doesn't seem a clear way to get started, but this color that's on the outside is clearly not what we want because that is a long run of color. So I'm thinking the color that we want to start that shorter run of color should be somewhere in the middle, which, there we go. Okay, now apparently there's sections of white first, and that's supposed to denote where we are between the different squares. So theoretically this green, I guess the question is where do we start? Because this has a lot of variation in it. It's not really a clear break in color. Starting to think that $45 would have been better used by throwing it into the Atlantic Ocean. We'll see. Here we go. So if we start somewhere in the middle here, maybe. Trying to see how this goes. The problem is it's going to make the middle of my granny square kind of have this weird grayness to it. So let's actually press on a little further to a point where we have a nice consistent run of color. Here's one. Well, no, not really. Yeah, no. Well, we're going to use that right there. Because now I'm losing my patience and I feel like I got ripped off. Not a good combo. So let's start our square. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5. Come around. Go through here. Oh, it's a little splitty. Yay. All right. I'm going to use a chain 3. You could really use something else if you wanted to, of course. And there aren't any patterns available online that specifically speak to the use of this yarn to create a nice granny square. And if you look on Ravelry, the projects that are there look like they were made with yarn that wasn't really properly dyed. It has this weird muddiness to it. To be honest, I expected better. Okay, so there's my corner. Well, at least with the one that Lion Brand does, or Red Heart does, that I saw at Joann Fabric, it looked like it kind of almost sort of made a decent looking color transition between the elements of the square. That was if you got the right gauge. But this isn't even making a decent granny square, because if I look at it, you see that? It looks marbled. Well, now I'm done with my first round. So theoretically, if I look at the picture, I should have another color, but I don't. So that's the first pain in the neck. So now I'm a quarter of the way through my second round of my square, and I'm still not getting my color transition to the next color. Remarkably disappointing. The worst part is the yarn is actually rather pleasant as it flows over my fingers, but let's be honest, it kind of looks like it was left for dead in the bottom of a dye pot. With these weird color stratations or whatever that's going on here. Nope. Still got the same weird green. I have no idea how big of a square they think I'm making that I need all of this green. So let's cut our losses short. And if you want to make granny squares that have color transitions on every round, yeah, don't buy this. We'll call this my public service announcement for the day. If I do in the next few moments come across a color transition that actually is meaningful, maybe it'll change my mind, but I'm not catching any yet. Nope. So that's a nice waste of yarn. All right, well, we tried. I would say if you wanted to use fair granny cotton for a project that just had some color striping in it, you weren't really interested in getting a nice tidy granny square that changes color, maybe it'll work. But for $45, I think I would probably, well, I would get a pair of scissors and cut my own yarn. Thank you very much. So good luck. Take care.